Welcome back to our channel, and today we have a compelling research topic to discuss. The potential influence of the India-Canada dispute on radicalization within Sikh communities worldwide and its implications for global security. This is a topic of immense importance in today's world, and in this video, we will not only explain the significance of this research but also guide you through the process of drafting each chapter in your research paper. Importance of the research topic. Understanding the potential influence of the India-Canada dispute on radicalization within Sikh communities worldwide is crucial for addressing emerging global security threats and promoting peace in an interconnected world. This research holds significance not only in preventing radicalization but also in fostering intercultural understanding and diplomacy, which can contribute to conflict resolution and international stability. By shedding light on the factors driving radicalization among Sikh communities, this research can guide policymakers, law enforcement agencies, and community leaders in implementing targeted interventions to mitigate the risk of extremism, ultimately safeguarding both regional and global security. Real-world examples. In 1985, the Air India bombing, a terrorist attack plotted by Sikh separatists in Canada, resulted in the deaths of 329 people. Understanding the roots of such radicalization within the Sikh diaspora is critical to prevent future incidents. The use of social media platforms by extremist Sikh groups to propagate radical ideologies and recruit vulnerable youth has been observed, exemplified by the online presence of pro-Khalistan organizations. Investigating these online dynamics is essential in our digital age. Chapter 1, Introduction. Chapter 1 typically includes an introduction to the research problem, setting the context and significance of the study, along with a concise overview of the research questions, objectives, rationale, and the broader research framework, providing readers with a clear understanding of the study's purpose and relevance. Research problem. Let's start with the research problem. A clear research problem statement sets the foundation for your study. For instance, your research problem could be understanding the factors contributing to radicalization within Sikh communities amid the India-Canada dispute. Research significance. Moving on to research significance, it's crucial to explain why your study matters. For instance, this research is significant because it can shed light on potential security threats arising from radicalization and help policymakers make informed decisions. Research questions. Here are 3 sample research questions. How has the India-Canada dispute affected the perception of Sikh identity and grievances worldwide? What role do social media platforms play in propagating radical ideologies within Sikh communities? To what extent can international diplomacy mitigate the radicalization of Sikh youth? Research objectives. Corresponding to those research questions, you can set these research objectives. To analyze the evolving Sikh identity in the context of the India-Canada dispute. To assess the influence of online platforms on radicalization trends. To evaluate the effectiveness of diplomatic efforts in reducing radicalization. Research rationale. Lastly, let's discuss research rationale. This explains why your study is needed. For instance, the rise of radicalization within Sikh communities is a pressing global concern, and understanding its drivers is essential for effective countermeasures. Chapter 2, Literature Review. Chapter 2, the Literature Review, comprises an in-depth examination of existing scholarly works, theories, and models related to the research topic. It identifies gaps in the current body of knowledge, establishes the theoretical framework for the study, and provides a foundation upon which the research methodology is built. This chapter should provide a comprehensive overview of existing research related to your topic. Some suitable subtopics for this research could include historical background of Sikhism and the diaspora, previous studies on radicalization within religious communities, the role of social media in radicalization, case studies on conflicts affecting diaspora communities, theories and models. Some theories and models that can be adopted for this research include social identity theory. This theory can help explain how the India-Canada dispute influences the identity of Sikhs. Radicalization models. Models like the Radicalization Extremism Terrorism (RET) model can be used to understand the progression of radicalization. Conflict theory to analyze the impact of geopolitical conflicts on diaspora communities. Identifying literature gap. To identify a literature gap, consider areas where existing research falls short. For example, there may be limited research on the specific impact of the India-Canada dispute on Sikh radicalization. Chapter 3, Methodology. Chapter 3, the methodology, outlines the specific approach and methods used to conduct the research, including the chosen research philosophy, approach, strategy, and data analysis methods. It also discusses ethical considerations, limitations, and delimitations, providing a clear roadmap for how the research will be executed and ensuring its validity and ethical soundness. In Chapter 3, you'll detail your research methodology. Here's how to draft key areas. Conceptual framework. Create a suitable conceptual framework with 3 independent variables, as an example geopolitical conflict, social media exposure, and community resilience, and 1 dependent variable, radicalization levels. Research philosophy. Recommend a research philosophy based on your objectives. For example, a critical realism approach can help uncover the underlying causes of radicalization. Research approach. Choose between an inductive or deductive approach based on whether you want to build theory, inductive, or test existing theories, deductive. Research strategy. Consider a mixed methods approach, combining qualitative interviews and surveys to gain a holistic understanding. Data analysis method. Depending on your data, choose between quantitative, as an example statistical analysis of survey data, or qualitative, as an example thematic analysis of interviews, methods. Ethical considerations. Ethical considerations are crucial. For example, ensure informed consent from participants and anonymize sensitive data. Limitations and delimitations. Identify potential limitations like limited access to certain communities or biases in data collection. Delimitations could be narrowing the study to specific geographical regions. Chapter 4, Data Analysis. Chapter 4, the data analysis, details the actual implementation of the methodology described in Chapter 3. It involves the analysis of collected data using appropriate techniques, whether quantitative, as an example statistical analysis, or qualitative, as an example thematic analysis. This chapter presents the findings derived from the data and provides insights into how they relate to the research questions and objectives. In Chapter 4, you'll implement the methodology you've recommended. Analyze data quantitatively by determining an appropriate sample size using statistical power calculations. If using qualitative analysis, sample size depends on data saturation, typically around 15-30 participants. Chapter 5, Conclusion. Chapter 5, the conclusion, is where you summarize your findings, restate your research questions and objectives, and draw implications for policy and practice. Chapter 6, Recommendations. In Chapter 6, provide practical recommendations based on your research. For example, you might recommend increased cultural sensitivity in diplomatic negotiations and enhanced online counter-radicalization efforts. Suggestion for future research. Finally, suggest areas for future research, such as exploring the impact of similar conflicts on other diaspora communities or assessing the effectiveness of specific de-radicalization programs. Thank you for joining us today as we explored this important research topic and provided guidance on drafting each chapter of your research paper. For access to a preliminary version of the research topic, please follow the hyperlink provided in the description. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe for more informative content.